Welcome to In Conversation with Zoe. I'm Zoe, and today we are going to be having a conversation on the 5 S's I am considering deeply and closely, and I'm imploring you to consider as well along these lines. These S's, there are 5 of them. I've already mentioned one of them, which is social distancing. That this is a very peculiar time that we're in, and we have to all be collective in our efforts to move on to the future, to make it better. So that is why I have penned down these 5 S's for us to think upon as we progress as a generation. So my first S is survival. So survival is something we all should be considering right now. That should be the first thing on everyone's minds. Maybe I need to reorder the list. So the first thing on your mind should be salvation. I know it sounds heavy, but I just hope that everyone can realize that nothing on earth is permanent, and after here, where are you going to? And that's the essence of salvation. It guarantees you a home after here called earth. Are you going to heaven, or are you going to hell, or you do not believe in any of those? Well, as real as the pandemic is, that is how even realer is heaven and hell, Jesus and the devil. So Jesus is the light, and we should choose light. That is a choice that we should make, and that is what will give you the assurance, the blessed assurance, that after here you are going to somewhere better. Consider that closely. Look into your life and check, there are some things in my life at the moment that will stop me from making heaven or from having a better afterlife. Should anything happen that I cannot control, please think about that. And if there is something in your life, in your space, in you, could be a flaw, could be a character, could be a lifestyle, then this is a good time to shed that weight. This is a good time to let it go. This is a good time to turn around. This is a good time to say yes to Jesus. This is a very good time to do that. There is no better time to receive Jesus as the Lord and your personal Savior than this. The second S I want us to consider is social distancing. It is a trend that we are best friends with right now, and even after now. The truth is, social distancing is something we will have to rethink as creatives, as human beings, as families, as employers of labor, as innovators, as a people, as students. We have to think of social distancing. How will this affect me right now, post-COVID even? So should they call this up? I've seen some videos in some areas of where this ban, the lockdown has been eased, and the influx of people, the crowding, the cohorts is overwhelming, and that might not be good biologically speaking, regarding the virus, how it is transferred and transmitted. Anyways, personally, we need to devise our social distancing means, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. We need to start to build. We need to enter into it mentally, and think it through in every area of our lives, and look for the makeshift ways that this will work as a future, if this is the lot that we have to live in and live through till a better future comes and opens up. Okay, please consider that. If you're innovating something in those lines, even the health sector, no one wants to go to the hospital anymore. No one wants to go to work. Everything is from home. So this as a brand, as a creative director and a UX designer, I'm suggesting that we, the creators, the millennials, the amazing generation of people that we are, start thinking along those lines. This is the entrepreneurial spirit in us that should come out and bust forth right now, start to devise means. I mean, we have the likes of Zoom, we have Microsoft Teams, we've got Skype. Skype was there long before. We've got Facebook Live. I mean, you see companies having to hassle, like third world countries having to hassle, we don't have enough internet. Governments have to start to think on how the future will be. They have to design the future, shape the future in such a way that life goes on. Because at the end of the day, as long as Jesus hasn't come for the second time, life will go on. Even when the trumpet sounds, it says that after that, life will still go on, but it will be in penury and it will be in pain. But life, there will still be buying and selling. There will still be things happening. So please, as an entrepreneur, as a startup, a creative designer, an innovator, just a creator, just a person, start to think of ways, learning. I would do a video on jobs that will be bestsellers right now. In my next video, that is a promise. So I will be giving you some suggestions for free on how you can start to create, cultivate, and channel your concern for the future post-COVID and even COVID times in such a way that it's productive for all of us, for humanity. So my next S is it is survival. Okay, so I switched it up. It's survival. So what are you doing to survive? It is okay some days to just sit down and do absolutely nothing. Trust me. There are some days my sisters are like, oh my God, you're always working, always doing something. You cannot just sit still. Zoe, stop it. Just calm down. Well, that's how I am. But the truth is, I saw deep sense in what she said. Some days I break internally, and because of the way I have been framed and I've been like this for a long time, it's hard for me to adjust. I just have to keep doing. I'm on autopilot. I have to shoot. I have to work. I have to be on. I have to do this meeting. I have to plan. I have to create. I have to innovate. I have to script. I have to draw. I have to design. Stuff. I have to cook. And then there's the talents, right? Anyway, so what I'm saying is, whatever you do, please, survival should be on the top two of what you're doing. After salvation is survival. What are you doing to survive here on earth? As long as Jesus hasn't called you, your maker hasn't called you back, you still have life. So think of ways to survive. Not bad ways, not taking what people have worked for, not stealing, not crime committing, not perpetrating of evil. Just think of positive ways to survive internally and externally, and let that energy, that vibe spread around your circle, your family. Let them feel that survival instinct. As humans, we have it. So this is the time to let it grow, let it spark, let it just, do what it's supposed to do. All right. My fourth S is sanity. Well-being is a big deal right now with the way things are, and depression, as some scientists and researchers have are claiming, is going to be the deadliest disease after even during COVID. So they're saying that the biggest fear is not even COVID. It is, okay, so the top three they're saying is fear is a killing factor, the biggest killer factor, depression, and then COVID. Now, and I'm doing personal research on those three, and I've seen, whilst doing the research, I have seen how deep it is, how well-being is such a big deal today, because we claim to be social as millennials, this generation or whatever, but we are the most reserved and introverted people because of the structure of things. There's internet dating, there is telemarketing, telejobs, everything is going tele. God, the devil, the enemy is trying to separate us from ourselves. When the devil wants to target you, he separates you from the things that you can bounce off as a distraction or as a base when you slide, and then he separates you, secludes you, distances you, and then attacks you because then you're a loner. Then he has you all to himself, idle. But you know what? Please do everything in your possible power. If it's to explore your talent, if it's to engage, become more talkative, do everything physical, spiritual that will get your well-being on a stable barometer, parameter, okay? Please stay active mentally, spiritually, emotionally, family, financially. Just, I'm not asking you to work, because that might be another factor for depression. Anything that would, it's still part of survival. Anything that will keep your mind at peace, that will keep your sanity. Please do those things right now, as long as they are positive and not hurting other people and not encroaching on other people's privacy, because where your freedom stops is where mine begins. Where mine stops is where yours begins. Now we need to draw those lines and see them clearly. And the last I want to talk about today is service. Please, now these are all topics, but I'm just throwing it all in here so that we can, get a glimpse. Service to humanity. I've been going out for walks and just grocery shopping and also to the bank, just essential travels. And I've seen that hostilities have increased, animosities have increased. That's not what humanity is about. The enemy wants us to be biased, to start blaming people, start calling this culture barbaric or whatever, or start saying you're the ones who brought this upon us. So, getting racist and masochist and feminist and whatever is. This is not the time to be divisive. This is the time to unite. This is the time for unity more than ever, so we can together fight this pandemic emotionally, spiritually, physically, and otherwise. Please do not let your service to humanity, which is being polite, being acceptable and accepting of other people and kind to other people, nice, just courteous to people and caring to people. Do not let that service to humanity die because there is something we're all afraid of and trying to beat. We are in this together, so please do not forget the S's. Your salvation, please consider it as the top most important thing on your list. Survival, social distancing third, sanity, and service to humanity. Thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, this is a very good time to subscribe so you can get growth materials, goals, resources, and above all, grace, inspirational resources from me weekly. Thank you. I'll see you on Instagram and on Twitter. I am @Zoe Chinaka. God bless you. Stay alive.